Hi there. Thanks for tuning in to Make This Happen, where we discuss an idea we've been dying to see come alive. Every week, my friend Alexander Gonzalez and myself, Jay Yee, will bring you a product you never knew you needed. Now, let's talk about Disneyland. Specifically, they need to make certain things about Disneyland available outside the park. And what I want by this is specifically that I went to Galaxy's Edge recently in Disneyland. I built my lightsaber. I told all the stories. I loved my experience. And where I went in Disneyland was Oga's Cantina, which is the bar that is within Galaxy's Edge. The only place you could drink alcohol, really, besides a very hard place to get into in Disneyland. That's the only place you could drink. But we were just in the bar. We had a 45-minute time limit and a 2-drink minimum per person. And we got in there. We had my drinks. I took one of Adriana's drinks for my own, and I had 3 drinks altogether. Our waiter was actually pretty nice, and he was like, "Don't worry about a time limit. Don't worry about the 2-drink minimum. You could stay here, whatever, and then I'll like help you out as long as you keep ordering drinks or whatever." I was like, "Cool." But we have other shit to do. We're gonna get our 2 drinks and get out. I also don't want to get too drunk. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. But
because they'll straight up kick your ass out.
the
If you're acting
problem,
a fool, you can be drunk as long as you're good and you're nice. If you're leaning on stuff or you look like a drunk, they'll take you out real fast.
that is true, and that is probably the part of the problem I have with this bar is walking in. It's awesome. The bar setup is really cool, where they have like different effects that happen. It's like Rainforest Cafe for adults, right? Where
I
it's
love
like
Rainforest Cafe.
alcoholic Rainforest Cafe where you're sitting and drinking, but there's shows happening around you. That is cool because it's Star Wars. And if you're a fan of Star Wars, this is cool. So what I propose is Disneyland start making like themed restaurants that you could go to across the United States and even globally around the world, because there's Disneylands all over the place and people love Disney products. And so I think it'll be really cool if like you want to go out and have a night out in downtown LA, and so you just want to go to the cantina, and then you get there and then they have like a fake Mickey Mouse style animatronic band playing freaking jizz music, as they call it in Star Wars, and they're playing that bum 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 bum, and you could sit down. All the waiters and waitresses are like dressed up as like aliens and or whatever.
Poor waitresses have to put on blue paint.
Yeah, they have like the weird robes going on, and then like, I think that'd be so cool. It's just you sit down, you have your weird alien food that's like made by some famous chef, and they made it like alien seeming. And then they have the fuzzy tauntaun, because you need the fuzzy tauntaun there, which is a vodka based drink with like fruit juice. But then they put like this Szechuan peppercorn like foam on top that makes your mouth numb, and like it would just be really cool. Because like the lamest part about going to Oga's Cantina is they bring you to a certain table and you can't leave that table. You're not allowed to like leave and like go to the bar and like hang out at the bar and like talk to the bartender or whatever. You can't like walk around, and when a seat opens up, you can't just take the seat like you would do in like a club or like a bar setting. You know what I mean? If a seat opens up, that's your seat now. You can go sit there. And it'd be a cool feeling to go into Oga's Cantina and walk up to the bar and just order 2 shots. Get your 2 shots of jet fuel, and then you drink it, and you set it down, and then you order another drink, and then take it to a standing bar table, and then just stand there and like hang out and talk, and maybe order some food.
If I understand this correctly, you want Disney themed bars, and
restaurants.
I'm not saying that in a skeptical way. There's Disney vacations like Ulani. There's Disney cruises. There's Disney summer camps. I think you could do a Disney restaurant and bar. And I think you could even make it where in different cities, main cities across the United States, you can have different themes.
Yeah.
Where one theme, either it's Seattle or San Francisco, where it's more tech-based, it would be the Star Wars Cantina. I
Right.
think New Orleans would be deserving of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, or Princess and the Frog, or
Or
like
yeah, fuck, Princess and the Frog for sure.
you could go to San Francisco and you go to a restaurant that's San Fran Tokyo based. You know what I
San
mean?
Fran
And like
Tokyo, yeah, so it'd be San Francisco and Japan would be San Fran Tokyo.
it'd be like a Mex Japanese fusion type of restaurant, you know what I mean? And
China
like
would
have
have Mulan.
sushi and yeah, and like it'd be like a Hard Rock Cafe kind of experience where you'd go to each restaurant around the world and then get the T-shirt that says
And
Hard Rock Cafe Las Vegas, Hard Rock Cafe
or
Amsterdam,
yeah,
or whatever.
mugs and stuff and different
Yeah,
stuff of that nature. And it doesn't have to be strictly based on the culture. You can also have Aladdin in Mexico or what have you. You can
yeah.
have Coco in California if you
I can
like Southern
imagine
California.
like the Oga's Cantina or the Star Wars restaurant would be more like around the entire world. Like they would open one up all over the place. But then like there would be like less popular ones like Princess and the Frog, which you could only go to New Orleans and maybe some other places to get that restaurant.
And it would be really cool if at the end of your meal, if you want to, you can get like a collector's puzzle piece. And it's like a gold-plated puzzle piece and it's like you can have Disney for a meal. And then if you collect all the puzzle pieces around all the United States or around the world, it completes the puzzle. And then maybe there's like some bonus you get
Or
from
even better, which would make Disneyland fans go nuts, is pins. Exclusive pins per
that
restaurant.
fit together. I don't know why I
Yeah.
want them to fit together, but I do.
Sure, we'll make them fit together. They'll have synergy if you put them all together and collect them all. They'll
Or-
like make something bigger.
No, you can't do this. I really like the pins that have a bubble, and in the bubble, they have a piece of the set or a piece of the original ride in it. Have you ever seen those?
Yeah, yeah.
So you take a piece of history with you. I think that would be great because the sky's the limit. Obviously, this isn't going to be working for I mean, it can and can't work for Pixar bars. You're not going to have an Inside Out restaurant, right?
I mean, I think you could if it was like Rainforest Cafe-esque.
Toy Story
Where it's-
restaurant would be dope. You could have that where everything's different proportions.
It wouldn't even have to be like that. Like, what if you did like a Buzz Lightyear themed restaurant and then like a Woody's themed restaurant, which is more like a smokehouse barbecue, and then Buzz Lightyear is more like a sci-fi pizza place.
Yeah.
Or then you could have
Now- I'm thinking this is going to be great inside of malls where there's already Disney stores. Where I'm thinking the way that Disney does it already, where when you leave the restaurant, it isn't the same way you came into the entrance, but instead you exit out of a Disney store. You know what
you
I'm
are forced to buy. Yeah, like how Hard Rock Cafe does the same thing, where after you eat, you have to walk through their little Hard Rock Cafe gift shop to get out of the restaurant. Even Rainforest Cafe does it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's like
yeah,
Rainforest Cafe merch that you have to walk through. Disney, it's easy because they have Disney stores and they're already there. So yeah, you just in a mall, there's a Disney store and the suite right next to it is the restaurant. You know what I mean? Like they just make
Absolutely.
it right next to each other. And I could imagine in the restaurant there's like a door separating, like how in some Las Vegas restaurants they do it, but there's like a door that separates the store and the restaurant, so you could just go back and forth while like kids will just go back and forth while they're eating and shit. And like maybe every half hour, every 45 minutes, there's like a small live show that plays kind of like in a like a Mickey Mouse or something like that, like Chuck E. Cheese's. I mean,
Oh, absolutely. And I can tell this would be viable too because I love eating inside the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. I forget what it's called.
Blue Bayou.
The Blue Bayou. I love that shit. It's
Yeah.
quiet because it's like you take some time out. It's quiet. You can make that work. I would like eating inside a Toy Story. A Bug's Life might be pretty gross. Maybe we don't do that one.
Like a bug. Everything looks like bugs,
Fuck.
but they're like actual food.
Yeah, no. There's no way. There's no way anyone's. How about
What's
this?
that Disney?
You can do a Bug's Life ice cream bar where it's like there's gummy worms inside of, or a dessert bar where it's like dirt cake and ice cream sundaes with Oreo crumbles and gummy worms and
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like more of a candy shop type of thing.
Yeah,
And
because
then
once grubs become candy, where you can have like a gummy stuffed with like orange juice inside of it, or like jelly.
yeah, and I think that would do really well in like Las Vegas, for example, where it
Oh
would
yeah,
give the
yeah, yeah.
kids something fun to play around with, but also have like alcoholic drinks for like the adults. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Absolutely.
But like you said, the it's limitless what you could do. Like you don't need just like it doesn't even have to be limited to, like I said, just the franchise in general. Like I said, we could take restaurants from actual movies and take them, rip them right out. Like we could have like the Pizza Port restaurant and have a Pizza Port restaurant somewhere in real life. You know what I mean? Which is more like a Dave and Buster's, but that's like Buzz Lightyear themed, and have the aliens like in a crane machine and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
you could have like a Wally restaurant that
That would
maybe
be,
is
I would
like,
want it to be the most comfortable restaurant,
I was
where
gonna
like you
say
can
it's
get
like,
into your seat, but then you can also recline it all the way back if you want to.
I think it'd be funny if it was like a Sonic where like you get into this like seat and it has like a TV in front of you and
And
you
then
just,
you order off the TV.
yeah, you order off
and,
the TV and then there's like apps that you could go through. You
and
could
like
like,
robots come and serve you your food.
you could insert your smartphone and then it'll like cast your smartphone onto the TV
And
so
that
you
one
could
would be
like,
like a drive-in theater, like
yeah,
kind of
exactly.
place. So it
Right.
would have,
The
oh
Wally
man.
drive-in where it's like, yeah, you just sit and you watch a movie on your own personal screen, but you could order food and it's like a surround sound like chair that you could sit into, you know what I mean? It's like your own
And
little IMAX.
I would understand the irony, but I would still go.
I would do it all the time. Are you kidding me? You get your own little pod that's air conditioned, it closes, it has like
And
a
you're like
rounded
vegging out.
IMAX. And yeah, and there's like surround sound headphones that you put on, and then maybe you don't even see the fucking waiter. They just open this little side door. It goes ding ding, and then you open like the side door to bring out your stupid little tray.
And everything has to be themed, so I'd want it to be ironic. Like, don't worry, human. You're all taken care of.
Yeah, yeah. I that's actually now my favorite idea. The Wall-E themed movie theater where
And the
you
funny
just
thing was, as a kid, I always this is how lazy I was growing up. I always wanted to make an invention where I wouldn't have to get out of bed, where I could like from the side of my bed say, I want McDonald's breakfast. And then like wheels would come out the bottom, it would seal me in like kind of like Jetsons where glass would come up over and then I'd be able to just go to McDonald's
it would
without
also
leaving
be
my bed.
it'd be great, this Wall-E restaurant where, or drive-in or whatever, where
It'd
there's
probably
no
be
show times. Like you could just go whenever you want. If there's a seat
oh,
open, you could just sit and watch
and
the movie.
it has Disney movies into it.
Oh, that'd be smart. That'd be smart. Yeah. And
So
then
you
maybe
can
also like there could be couple seats and then maybe 4 family seats, which is like an ultra wide screen.
now we're gonna have to make these the glass will have to be translucent. So it's not gonna be privacy glass. You're gonna have to see in it. We don't want
Oh
nasty
yes, and
things
like
happening.
nobody fucking in there.
Exactly. We don't want it to be, because I was thinking this would have been the perfect quarantine restaurant.
Mm, that's true. Yeah, I maybe, yeah, it's like a OLED see-through screen, like the front of it, but it just opens up
Yeah.
type of thing.
And Pizza Port would be great because you could win all kinds of toys, which are basically Toy Story themed.
Yeah,
You
that'd
can
be
have
like
claw
the
machines
Chuck
for
E.
the
Cheese,
aliens.
Disney
Yeah,
Chuck
yeah,
E.
yeah.
Cheese type of thing. And it doesn't even have to be just Pizza Port. It could be like a Disney Chuck E. Cheese version of The Lion King. Maybe The Lion King would be more of like a
Oh, that'd be a
animatronic.
meaty place. That'd be like kebabs and
Yeah, yeah. And
barbecue.
like, but then like there would be like robot lions and like animals
Oh,
just all over and stuff.
and this would be the spot. I think the Lion King restaurant, the way we would get it to work, where it would attract people, is the meat menu would be just as good as the vegetarian menu.
Mm.
Just so it would be equally represented as Simba when he was vegetarian as when he was eating meat. So there'd be like a fantastic vegetarian menu. You know, like those really good vegetarian restaurants where you're like, if all vegetarian food was like this, I'd be vegetarian. Fuck
Yeah.
it. This is amazing. This is delicious.
we could also make it maybe the pool to maybe that's a different type of Lion King restaurant, but then another Lion King restaurant would be like you're in a virtual room, like a 4D experience, and then maybe the dining table is like in the center, but it looks like you're in a moving car, and it's just OLED walls all around you, and it's just as if you're going through
through
a
Pride
safari
Rock.
tour, like a safari tour or whatever, but there's like a dining table in the middle, and it looks like you're moving, and it's like moving around a little bit
as you're playing the Circle of Life. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
I see that.
Well, the options are limitless. What we could think up of, the different types of we can make a whole series of like a whole month of just episodes dedicated to Disney specific restaurants. We could go on and on. I feel like we could just keep going. We could go through every movie and think of all the applications of restaurants that can be derived from each. A Tron restaurant, how cool would that be? That's like more like laser tag and restaurant. You know what I mean?
No, and then there's a rave you can do.
Oh yeah, electronica as they call it at Disneyland. There's so many options here. So Disney, make this happen. Thanks for listening. If you have any suggestions or products you'd like to see talked about, feel free to write in at @poundsgames@gmail.com. We have a Patreon. If you'd like to join the @Pound family, come find us at patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. Patrons receive episodes 2 days early, meaning Make This Happen gets to your ears that much sooner. If you enjoyed our show, take a second to give us a review. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Store, and more. Catch you guys next Sunday with Alex's idea. Shit.
Exercise clothing.
Exercise clothing. You got it.